This video is brought to you by 3, bringing you 4G at no extra cost.
Hey guys, welcome to BTech. You're probably wondering why we've got all of that set up right there. Well, it's because we're doing a camera test with the iPhone 6 Plus and the iPhone 6. The iPhone 6 Plus, 8 megapixel sensor with optical image stabilisation. The iPhone 6, 8 megapixel sensor without optical image stabilisation. The whole point of this video is helping you figure out whether or not optical image stabilisation is a must for you. As for what we're going to do, we're going to kick off by taking some pictures in good lighting. All of the pictures are going to be shared in the description below, so there'll be a link through to that. Kicking off with the iPhone 6, we can move the 6 Plus out of the way, pull the iPhone 6 into frame, and take our first picture. And that's just going to be an overview of all of these objects so we can see how they perform in good lighting. So, going to use that shot as a reference, put it to one side and try and emulate that shot with our iPhone 6 Plus. So getting that in there like so. Now if we were to switch off some of the lights, getting the coffee cup in frame, and with the iPhone 6 Plus. Now it's worth noting there's something that you can do in iOS 8 which you might or might not have seen before. If we tap on a focal point, we can actually drag our thumb up and that will increase the exposure. We're going to take one at higher exposure just until we feel the DSLR, which is a black element, has most of the detail pulled out of it, and that's just about 60% exposure, and we'll tap on that, and then again we'll try and emulate that on the 6 Plus. Tap through, DSLR, up the exposure, tap it again so that it focuses right, up the exposure, maybe around there, and take that picture. And now you can hardly see anything in real life. Indeed, if we moved the iPhone out of the way, the camera we're using can't pick it up. But the iPhone 6 looks like it's managing to pick up a fair bit of detail. Let's pull back a little bit more and shoot that picture. Lastly, we'll do exactly the same on the iPhone 6 Plus. And we are pretty much done. There's one thing that we'd like to do just because we're pretty geeky, and we're guessing you'll want to see how the macro results fare from both of these devices. So we can pull right up close to the coffee cup and then illustrate how much blur we'll get in the DSLR from that f2.2 lens. And you can see that's the iPhone 6, and we'll do exactly the same on the 6 Plus. That's going to be there for reference. Flipping it round. Get a little bit closer. There you go. Now that all the photos have uploaded to the photo stream and downloaded onto our iPhone 6 Plus, we're going to use this as our screen to illustrate the differences between the two. We're starting off with a photo taken on the 6, and this is in good lighting in case you can't remember. Now, tapping through, the DSLR is a little bit blurry. If we take a look at the coffee cup though, it is bang on in focus. The reason this is a good thing is because that background blur comes from that f2.2 lens and of course a very quick shutter speed. With no optical image stabilization, the camera wanted to take as quickly as possible to avoid any blur. If we swipe across, we can see the picture taken on the 6 Plus looks significantly more in focus throughout the focal range, and that is because of the optical image stabilization, allowing a longer shutter speed. The foreground is still very nice and sharp, but this time so too is the background. Now that might not work as well for macro, but it's probably going to be better, more versatile for most types of shots. If we swipe across, we can see you have got a very nice amount of silhouetting on the foreground element, and that SLR looks very, very clean. So backlit conditions do bode well, although there isn't a huge amount of detail in that foreground. As for the Bluetooth speaker, again, very nice clean lines, and the foreground object sharp. There's less noise than we would have thought there would be in the black, or at least according to this screen. Swipe across one and you have a lower contrast shot. It's been able to pull out more detail from the blacks with the 6 Plus and its optical image stabilisation. It might not look as impactful, but it does look cleaner. If we swipe across, we can see the artificially overexposed shot on the 6 looks very, very overblown, but it still managed to grab fair bit of detail from that DSLR's black, which is what we were going for, though it isn't the sharpest, it has to be said. Swiping across, this is a significantly less blown out shot, but still once again lower contrasted, less dramatic, much sharper. So upping the exposure artificially is something better handled by the iPhone 6 Plus. Swiping across, and this round actually you'll remember was when all the lights were off, and unfortunately it didn't work because we had a very blurry shot on the 6 Plus, interestingly enough. It just didn't focus on the focal point. But if we swipe across to the end of our photo stream, we retook that shot and we can talk through the results. And it's very, very similar to what we would have predicted. If you take a look, you've got the coffee cup with a fair amount of grain on it right there. The actual lines surrounding the SLR aren't super clean, and everything just looks like it's a little bit subpar, but the lights were off. It performs as well as we'd expect high-end smartphone to perform without optical image stabilization. If we take a look at the shot taken on the iPhone 6 Plus, much better. Cleaner lines, less grain throughout the shot, and all in all, it performs like a Nokia Lumia type phone might do were it in these conditions. So jumping quickly through to the last round, which was really that macro shot, and we can take a look. We've got the coffee cup right there. This was taken on the 6, nice amount of background blur. And the one that we took on the 6 Plus, sharp foreground, nice amount of background blur. So they both perform well in macro. The 6 Plus does perform tangibly better in low light. Though you saw the difference, you can see the difference if you click through on the links below. It might not be the end of the world for you not having that optical image stabilization, especially considering all that extra bulk in the 6 Plus and of course the extra expenditure. Hopefully you found this video useful. Hopefully you've also found it interesting. If you have any questions about the iPhone 6 Plus or the iPhone 6, fire them in the comments section below. If you liked the video, then make sure you click that like button. If you like BTech in general, click subscribe. Thanks for watching.